Welcome to lesson 3.7, Properties of Polygons. Our objective in this lesson is to explore the geometric properties of polygons. So first, I think we need to determine what is the definition of a polygon. And a polygon is a plane shape, so like two-dimensional with straight sides. So it's a plane shape with straight sides. And examples of polygons would be triangles, rectangles, and pentagons. Now remember, a circle is not a polygon because it has a curved side. So that cannot be a polygon. So hopefully that does some clarifying. We're going to talk about different kinds of polygons, like regular and irregular polygons. But for right now, I just want you to have the background and the definition of what a polygon is. So again, just to repeat that, it's a plane shape or two-dimensional shape with straight sides, and we'll review that in class as well. So our math message: solve the problem on Math Journal page 80. Well, Math Journal page 80 is actually going to be at your home, or I'm sorry, at school, so you're not going to have this, but I want to go through a little bit of this with you, and then I'm going to actually have you do a little artwork on your own. So it said Gina drew 4 shapes: equilateral triangle, square, rhombus, and hexagon. She covered up most of each figure as shown below. Can you tell which figure is which? Write the name below each figure, then try to draw the rest of the figure. So below, we know we have 4 shapes, and we know the names of the 4. We know we have an equilateral triangle, a square, a rhombus, and a hexagon. And our little gal over here says, how did you identify each hidden shape? Okay, so first of all, I am going to help you with one of the shapes, okay, and I'm going to go over here. Let's see, I kind of want to do, I think I'm going to do this shape right here, and I'm going to do this. And now remember, my artwork is not great. In fact, it's pretty bad actually, but I'm going to give it my best shot, and I'm going to draw, and hopefully you know what this shape is. It is a rhombus, and I'm going to write right below it, rhombus. Oops, sorry. I think my M got a little big there, a little bit carried away. So I have the word rhombus, and that is a rhombus. And the others, now I want you to try to figure out if you can draw the other 3 and write down the name of them underneath, and then think about how you solved this problem. How did you figure out what the other 3 shapes were? Okay, so be writing that down, and we'll bring that into class, and I'll collect these actually with your definition. So I want you to draw the other 3 shapes, tell me how you figured them out, and then write the names under each of them. All right, so that's part of your homework. Moving on, it says sorting polygons by properties. We're actually going to play a game in class called Polygon Capture. We're going to use our student reference book, and we're going to use activity sheets 3 and 4, and they're actually in the back of our math journals, and we'll get to that too. You don't have to do anything with that right now. But how the game kind of works is it says there is only one right angle. So like if you find a shape, you obviously can't use a square for that one because a square has how many right angles? And hopefully you're thinking in your head, well, it has 4. Absolutely. So it says there are 1 or more right angles. Okay, all angles are right angles. Well, then that would be perfect to use for H, right? H would be perfect for that one. So I know that those 2 would go together. Okay, there are no right angles. Okay, there's at least 1 acute angle. And as it goes, we're going to practice using these cards to get you more familiar with polygons and the properties that polygons actually do have. The one good one at the bottom, it's a wild card, and you get to pick out your own property. We're also going to do some sorting of our own with all the different shapes. I'm going to ask you to make different piles. And you're going to get to put your shapes that you've cut out into different piles according to things that you pick out as properties. So just be thinking about the differences in polygons and how they work. And we're going to play that game in class. Okay, so moving on, we're going to do a little practice with parallel, perpendicular, or intersecting. And those are words that you should know. Parallel and what parallel means, or perpendicular, or intersecting. So let's do a little practice with that right now. And we're going to wait. IXL is loading. Hopefully you're doing some practicing with IXL. It's such a great resource, and you can do it for 15 minutes every day. So it is a great thing to use. So as it's loading, be thinking about what the definitions are. Are these lines parallel? Are they parallel to each other? Yes or no? I hope you said no, because parallel means they do not intersect. And those two did intersect. Are these lines perpendicular? And what does the word perpendicular mean? Does anybody know what that means? So perpendicular basically means, it just means they're at right angles or 90 degrees. So these two lines would not be perpendicular to each other, but more or less parallel to each other. So are these lines perpendicular? Do they form that 90-degree angle? Can we make a 90-degree angle with that? And that's why we want to do these lines together. Are these lines perpendicular? Again, we're trying to create a 90-degree angle, and I don't see a 90-degree angle there. So therefore, I would say, nope, it's not. Okay? Are these lines intersecting? And intersecting, I hope you know, means that they cross over each other. And so I would say yes to that one. And those are definitely intersecting lines. So are these lines parallel? And parallel means, again, guys and girls, that they're never going to cross. They're never going to intersect each other. So these are definitely parallel lines. Okay? So we're going to stop right there, and we're going to close our IXL out here. And we're going to go back to our objective and see if did we master our objective. This lesson is a little bit shorter because we are going to do a lot of it in class, a lot of the property pieces. So we did discuss properties of polygons and actually what the definition of a polygon is. And our objective was to explore the geometric properties of polygons. And we did that. Now remember to write down on your piece of paper, draw your other three shapes in and label them. And then tell me, how did you figure out what the others were? How did you know that one was, whichever one you picked was a hexagon or a square or a equilateral triangle? So that's the only piece you're going to do in hand in. So hopefully you understand that and it made sense to you, and I hope you're ready to play our polygon capture game with your partner. Have a great evening.